Hey everybody, Clay Archer, CEO DPC Technology. I've got a fun one today. Today we are testing out the new UDR7. This is a really cool device. The Dream Router obviously requires no introduction. This is kind of their all-in-one little home appliance unit. So we'll walk through those specs. I'll walk through the use case scenario for it, who I think this is for, and we'll give you my conclusions about the device. So the big headlines right off the bat is that this has the 10 gigabit interface so that it can do high-speed internet connections, which is awesome. It's got 2.3 gigabit IPS IDS routing through it, but it has a 10 gigabit connection. So that's really awesome. And the integrated 6-stream Wi-Fi 7, which gives you that 6 gigahertz goodness. So those are the big showstoppers here. It has one 10 gigabit SFP plus and one 2.5 gigabit Ethernet WAN connections, and you can use those as failover. It's got three 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and one 2.5 gigabit PoE. And as I mentioned, it's got the integrated 6-stream Wi-Fi 7 with 6 gigahertz. They're kind of moving this up into that UCG max range. While they introduced the UCG fiber, which kind of pushes that envelope a little bit, I think this fits somewhere in that kind of UCG max connectivity, but with the Wi-Fi built in. It gets 30 plus devices and 300 plus clients, which I think is perfect for most homes. I mean, that's going to be a pretty large home if you're going to get 30 Unifi devices and 300 plus client devices connecting to it. That's quite a bit. You can also run Protect on it, and it has a MicroSD. It comes with a 64 gigabyte card pre-installed, but you can go up from there. And it's coming in with all of that at a price of $279, which is pretty awesome to get Wi-Fi 7 and a router for $279. On that Protect, obviously you're going to be a little bit limited with the size of your microSD card. You're also limited on the number of cameras that you can use. You can do 5 HD cameras, 2 2K cameras, or 1 4K camera. I've got a G5 Flex and a G4 Instant. Of course, I'm running the G5 Flex plugged right into the unit itself on the PoE port, and I am running the G4 Instant wirelessly. If I wanted more cameras in my house, I probably would do more of the Instants around. They work great. They're perfect for this type of install. The other cool thing about the UDR7 here is you're able to run the full suite of Unifi software. I mentioned Protect before, but you can do Connect, you can do Talk, you can do Access, you can do all that stuff as well. Obviously, with the UDR7, it's not as strong a device as, like, say, the UCG fiber is. So that as you add those things, you may see some performance differences. So be cognizant of that. Like, if you're going to max it out on Protect cameras and you want to run Access and you want to run Talk and on and on and on, you may start to push this device a little too far, and you may want to maybe look at the UCG fiber instead of this device. But that being said, what this device has that the UCG fiber does not have is that built-in Wi-Fi 7. And I will say that this little device does a wonderful job. I live in a 1,500 square foot condo, and this was more than enough to cover my entire house. Where I have this situated right now is in my living room. That's where my Comcast cable comes in. Unfortunately, that's not the perfect place for me for my rack and all my other networking gear. But for this is the perfect spot for it because I can put it right there. It's very central in my house, so the coverage has been great. And with the 2.5 gigabit LAN connectivity of this, I'm able to connect this back over Cat6 cable to the rest of my network and get that 2.5 gigabit speed across that. So that's awesome. The other cool thing about this, and I've been saying this about the entire Unifi lineup, obviously they're dropping 3 really cool devices today, but they all have the same interface. Whether I'm going from a EFG or UDM Pro or UDM Pro Max, all the way down to that Express 7, they all look the same when you log into them. So when you log into the software, other than the features that one may or may not have because it physically doesn't have that port or that, the Wi-Fi or whatever, they all show up the same in the software, which is awesome. I particularly like that. We're a managed service provider. We install these things professionally, but my employees all play around with Unifi devices at home. And so what you're using at home could be the same as you're using in an enterprise, which is really cool. It's a great way to be able to learn these devices, as well as, let's say you start at a UDR7, or let's just say you're buying this device for your home, you're just getting started in the Unifi ecosystem, you buy UDR7, it's a great device, and a couple years from now, you decide that you want to put one in your business. Then you could get a UDM Pro Max or a UCG Fiber. Everything would look the same to you. That upgrade path is really great. And as the years go by, you'll get updates to your UDR7 that will always keep it with the contemporary software. So as they come out with the newest, latest, greatest, bigger, faster devices, the software that you have on your UDR7 will be the same software that's run on those devices. Not only that, but Unifi does all this at no charge for you. So your UDR7 that you buy today will only get better and better and better as time goes by. So who is this device for? I would say first and foremost, if you're looking for an all-in-one device that looks really pretty, if I'm putting this in my living room, my spouse, or if you're a neat freak, if you want your stuff to look really pretty, this is a very attractive device. It just sits there in my living room. It looks like a piece of furniture. It's nice. And because it's an all-in-one, there's not a lot of wires and things going all over the place. The second reason to do this is if you just want everything in one device. Last year we went to an Airbnb for the month of August. We're doing that again this year. This is the perfect device to take for that. So you got everything in one spot. You just plug it in the cable modem, plug in power, boom, Bob's your uncle, you're up and running. This is an amazing device for that. So if you have a little entertainment center where you have your TV, maybe gaming device, and that's where you do most of your stuff, everything else in your house is wireless, this is a wonderful device for you. And the final reason that I think this might be the right device for you is that it has that 10 gigabit WAN connectivity. The 2.3 gigabit IDS IPS routing is fast enough for almost anybody's Wi-Fi at this point. Most fiber is probably coming in at 2 or 3 gigabit. If you do have 5 gigabit fiber, I probably would go up to the UCG fiber, just to give you the extra bandwidth there and extra headroom. The built-in Wi-Fi 7 is awesome. Having 6 gigahertz kind of future-proofs you. Most of those new features that are going to come out over the next years are going to be in that bandwidth, and you're going to have the physical device that's going to be able to take advantage of those software developments as they come out over the next years. So with that, there's probably also some people that I think this device isn't for. If you're a home labber or kind of want to push the envelope on what the device can do, going from the Dream router personally to the UCG fiber, I really felt like that UCG fiber was the sweet spot for me. Obviously, I'm a higher end user. I've got a lot of 10 gigabit connectivity in my network, and I think that device fits me a little bit better. So I think probably for the masses, the UDR7 is probably the better device. If you're a small business or at the high end of home/home lab usage, I would go to the UCG fiber. I think it's probably worth offboarding the Wi-Fi to another device and getting the more powerful routing device. That being said, I think this UDR7 is going to be a very popular unit, but if you do want one, I would click the link down below. I don't think these are going to stay around long. I think they're going to have trouble keeping these in stock. That is an affiliate link. Unifi did send this device to me. They did not pay me for this, and the opinions all are my own, but I do want to thank them for sending out these devices. It was really fun to test them back to back to back. I think this is a really exciting time for Unifi. I keep talking about the options that Unifi is giving us. We have $199 for the Express 7, we have $279 for the UDR7, and we have $249 for the UCG fiber, and throw in the UCG Max in there in the $199. I think what Unifi is doing is giving us a big palette of really great devices. We can choose which one fits our use case perfectly and not have to really compromise on anything. So if you have any questions about it, please put them down below. I am testing these devices and I will answer every question you have. Also, if you have any comments about Unifi and what they're doing with these 3 new devices, where you feel like they fit into the ecosystem, please put those down below. We'll have that conversation. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.